Hey, so before I start this review, let me just give two quick shoutouts. The first is to Rep Reviewers, and the other is to the organization Gaia, which is an organization dedicated to putting an end to HIV and AIDS by the year 2030. Hey everyone, John here, and welcome back to another Rant review. And this time we're doing my first ever movie review, but it's a TV movie, so it totally works. Yeah, so today we're going to be taking a look at the second film in the live-action Fairly Odd Parents film trilogy. So let's take a look at this movie and see why it fails. This is A Fairly Odd Christmas. So we start off at the North Pole with Santa and the elves going over the naughty and nice list. Then we see that some of the names are disappearing from the nice list. This is happening because Timmy, Drake Bell, and his now girlfriend Tootie are traveling around the world in a flying van, granting wishes for people. This is something that he had to do at the end of the first film in order to keep his fairies as an adult. And I'm not even going to get into the problem with the whole idea of how, even before that, it was kind of weird that he still had his fairies at the age of 23. In fact, I'm not even going to bring it up. Okay, now I just want you to watch this insignificant moment really quick.
I've been told my voice is kind of irritating. Of course I don't believe it. What do you think, Wanda?
Did you see that? Drake winces way too early. It's almost as if Cosmo wasn't even really there or something. The CGI fairies here look really awful, by the way. We then cut back to Dimmsdale where we meet Crocker. And in this scene, we learn that his whole life, he's apparently been on the naughty list, which somehow he's never even heard of. Timmy and the gang then arrive back in Dimmsdale. Then, two elves named Carol and Dave show up. They're there to bring Timmy and all of them to the North Pole. And apparently, Cosmo and Wanda have some kind of beef with these elves. I'm sure it's not for like a stupid reason or anything like that. That would be ridiculous. But anyway, Crocker overhears this and decides to stow away with them and, tag along to the North Pole. And honestly, they really didn't need to put him in this movie. So they all arrive at the North Pole, and Santa nicely tells Timmy that he has to stop stealing all his wishes. Then, Cosmo accidentally injures Santa, causing him to get amnesia, so now he thinks he's the Easter Bunny. And then when he wakes up, he's even dressed as a bunny. I don't know. So then, fake-looking Jorgen arrives and tells Timmy that he now has to be Santa.
You had a new Santa Claus!
But then there's a problem with the fact that Timmy can't be Santa because it turns out he's on the naughty list. Couldn't Jorgen or somebody just use their magic to fix Santa, one of the other fairies? So they all have to travel to another part of the North Pole to find Elmer the Elder Elf, who's in charge of the naughty list. It's a long, dangerous walk. They probably should have driven. Crocker then appears and says he wants to go, so they actually let him come. Timmy, this is the guy who kidnapped your fairies and used their magic to take over the world, right? Why be nice to him? So they go, and we actually had a couple funny jokes. Too bad it only took halfway through the movie to get some. A little later, Timmy and Crocker get separated from Tootie, the fairies, and the elves. And then Tootie talks to a penguin. Sure, why not? Then there's this joke that involves Crocker falling off a cliff. It's funny at first, but it goes on way too long.
Goodbye. Mr. Crocker, no! Mr. Crocker? Mr. Crocker? Mr. Crocker!
Timmy and Crocker then meet some walking, talking gingerbread men. The special effects work with them is really good, by the way. They look like they're really there, and they're like real gingerbread men. Then, Crocker takes a bite out of one of them, which gets them mad, and for some reason, Timmy never really criticizes Crocker for this. I don't know why. Then we cut back to Santa's workshop, and we learn that there's this big force called Christmas Gloom, which without Santa, causes everyone in the world to be sad. And then back in Dimmsdale, we get a Butch Hartman cameo. We then cut back to the North Pole with Timmy and the gang all reunited. To get to the end of their destination, they have to cross this weak bridge that could collapse at any minute. So Timmy first attempts to cross by himself. And then Poof actually contributes to the movie by saving Timmy when he almost falls into the boiling hot eggnog. Yeah, boiling hot lava-like substance at the North Pole. Not sure about that. Then, as the rest attempt to cross, Crocker stops to tie his shoe as the bridge is collapsing. And then, just as they're all about to finish crossing, Timmy falls off the cliff, appears to be falling into the boiling hot lava. And of course, he's not dead, but how, you might be wondering? Well, he used 2 candy canes that Santa gave him earlier to climb back up. Nope. Couldn't happen. But good try. So the group finally arrives at the home of Elmer the Elder Elf, And it turns out that the reason that Timmy is on the naughty list is because all those wishes that he made for people at the beginning of the movie had some bad unintended consequences. So I guess none of his wishes actually helped anyone, and I guess intent isn't taken into consideration when making these lists. I mean, come on, at this point in his life, Timmy is spending pretty much all of his time granting wishes to help other people. Doesn't sound like that naughty to me. We then get this genuinely touching scene where Crocker defends Timmy, and so Elder decides to take him off the naughty list, so they all head back to the North Pole. So they get back to the North Pole, they all help get ready for Christmas, make the presents, deliver the gifts, save Christmas, blah 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 blah. And oh yeah, it also turns out that this whole beef between the fairies and the elves, which was never on the show by the way, was all because of some pointless, stupid misunderstanding, because of course it was.
2,000 years ago, the fairies borrowed our power drill and never returned it.
We did so! We left it on your back porch!
Yeah, this movie was bad. It's stupid, it doesn't make a ton of sense. If not for the few good things in it, it could easily be among the worst things I've ever reviewed. But as it stands, it's not even the worst of the trilogy. That would have to be the original. So that's all I have for you today, everyone. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. Link below. Don't forget to check out Red Room Reviewers and Gaia, and thank you all for watching, and happy holidays, everyone.
No, that's a tree.